Hi, the internet. Welcome to the What Else Show. I'm your host, Robert. This is Bethany.
Hi, internet.
And today we've got a brand new What Else Show for you. Bethany, what else are we talking about today?
Today we are going to do another installment of first episodes, and we are going to talk about the first episode of Doogie Howser, MD.
That's right. We just watched the first episode of Doogie Howser, MD. No title. It's called Pilot, which most first episodes are just the pilot.
Just the pilot.
They don't give them a name usually.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yep. It is
most of the time. I feel like it's most of the ones we watch. Just called Pilot.
That's just called Pilot.
But then, can you give us a little bit of the particulars about this first episode of just about Doogie Howser, MD in general?
Okay. All right. So it ran from September 19th, 1989 to March 24th, 1993. So 97 episodes, 4 seasons. All 4 seasons aired on ABC. And it stars Neil Patrick Harris, obviously, as Doogie, and Max Casella as Vinnie. And that's really all you need to know.
Yeah.
Just so stupid.
If you don't know, if you're not familiar with Doogie Howser, MD, Doogie Howser, MD is about a little kid who is also a medical doctor.
Yes.
That's what the MD stands for.
Yes.
The Doogie Howser, his name is Douglas
They call
Howser.
They call him Doogie for
They call him Doogie because he's a little kid.
Yep. He is 16.
You wouldn't call an adult Doogie.
No.
Kick your ass.
No, I don't. Yeah, I know. I don't think so.
All right. Should we jump into what happens in this very first episode of Doogie Howser, MD? Oh, wait, no. Let's not jump into it.
What?
What's your history with the show?
I watched this show religiously. I loved this show. And I thought I had never seen the first episode. I've seen this episode. I didn't know it was the first episode. I didn't connect the dots that it was the first episode. I was like, I remember this episode. I remember a lot of episodes.
Really?
Of Doogie Howser.
Anything of note?
Yes, there's a really fun Halloween one where Vinnie, I think he's Igor, and then Doogie is like Dr. Frankenstein. So it's really fun. And they play the Munster Mash in the episode, and they're like dancing. It's really fun. And then there's another birthday episode with Doogie where he keeps getting called away from his friends because he's a doctor. He keeps getting beeped. And then there's one where his friend Vinnie gets trapped in an elevator with a pregnant woman, so he has to help Vinnie.
I kind of remember that one.
Do you remember that one? He has to help Vinnie deliver the baby. Yeah. So I remember a lot of these episodes. I remember his girlfriend on the show. I think that was the same girl that he went to the dance with. I'm not sure. But yeah, I remember a lot of these episodes, and I loved this show. Loved it.
I don't think I ever watched new episodes of the show. I think I watched it in syndication. What I remember about it is that I would stay at my grandmother's house like during the summer, and she would go to work, right? But she would come home from work like on her lunch break and eat something and watch Doogie Howser. Thus, I would also be watching Doogie Howser. Yeah. Nice. It was like one of her favorite shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So there you go.
Yeah. That's But I don't really remember it all that well.
Oh, yeah. I remember it.
Okay, let's jump in. What?
Should we talk about? I was going to say, should we talk about the episode now?
Yeah. Bethany, if you wouldn't have interrupted me, I would have said, let's jump into what happens in this first episode.
All right.
Cold open, we see Doogie Howser, and he's taking a driving test. He's the driver, instructor in the passenger seat, mother in the back seat. And he's driving, and he's doing a good job, and the mom's blathering on in the back. And the instructor is a real stickler. And they're driving, and he pulls up, and he sees that there's been a car accident, and the instructor says, go around or get out of here, right? But Doogie speeds up towards the car accident because this instructor does not know that Doogie Howser is a doctor. He does not know the name of the show. Doogie Howser jumps in there, and the police are like, get out of here, kid, before we arrest you. But he gives them some medical jargon, and he says, we got to do something to this guy so we can save his leg.
And then that's when we learn that Doogie is a doctor.
Yes. Well, I learned from the title of the show, but that's what we're supposed to learn.
Right, because he shows them his ID or, whatever.
His medical badge.
To prove to them that he's a doctor. Yeah, I assume some sort of official identification.
I
as
believe
a-
at that point is when the intro starts.
Yes.
What do you think about the intro?
The intro is horrible.
Yeah, the intro's not great. It sounds like
The intro is
music
awful.
that a robot would make.
Yes.
Like
Did they use AI?
like early AI would have made this song. But in the beginning, it's just news articles of accomplishments of this child, like how he graduated high school at like 10 or something, and he graduated college at like 14.
Yeah. It's
Now
like,
he's a doctor at 16.
it's like all of his like accomplishments and
Did we mention
How
it's
smart he
Doogie's
is.
16th birthday? I feel like we did.
I think we did.
Let's mention it again. It's his 16th
It's
birthday.
his 16th birthday. After the intro, they're in the hospital and he's making rounds
Okay.
with another group of doctors, and he makes a recommendation to another doctor or tells this other doctor what he's going to do about this one patient that apparently it's a kid.
There's a little kid patient and he's got a heart problem.
Yes, he's got a heart problem. And so Doogie and the other doctor disagree on what they should do. So they go to, I don't know, whoever's in charge, whatever.
The president of doctors.
The president of doctors. And they each make their case. And Doogie gets overruled and he sides with the older doctor who makes some snide comments about Doogie being a snot-nosed kid.
Yeah.
So that really bothers him. So then Doogie leaves in a, he's pretty mad. And then the next scene we see is he's at home and he's doing the journal entry.
Okay, he's doing a journal entry on his computer, and then his friend Vinnie climbs in through his friend Vinnie actually scares him with a rubber mask.
Yes.
What is it a mask of? Like a zombie?
I think it's a zombie,
Like a zombie mask.
Yeah, it's like just a very freaky mask.
Yeah, some kind of monster creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scares Doogie, and they start talking about the dance that is tomorrow, Friday.
It's like the
end of
next
week.
day. Yeah, the dance is the next day, and they start talking about how they're going to kiss girls.
Well,
and whatever.
first Vinny comes in and he's saying that he's going to be having the sex.
Oh, yes. Very jarring. So it's like within the first couple sentences of them having a conversation, he's talking about this girl and he's like, yeah, I'm going to have sex with her tomorrow. night.
He's not going to.
Like, oh my God.
Wishful thinking on his part.
Wishful thinking.
And
Yeah.
Doogie Howser explains that he's going to kiss a girl. I don't remember the name.
Wanda.
So that's what happens there. The dad walks in, and Vinny tells the dad that Doogie's going to kiss the girl. And so he says it in some way that's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
And then the dad just walks out without saying anything.
Yeah. He just leaves the room. I mean, they're 16-year-old boys. Like, why
Yeah.
shame
Why talk to
them?
him in the first place? is
Yeah,
what I
why
say.
is he even in there talking to them?
Nothing's good going to come out of that.
Yeah. So the next scene, they're at his birthday dinner. He's with his parents. They're having dinner at home. And he asks his dad if he could borrow the car for the dance the next night. And his dad says no, and they have an argument.
Yeah, the dad says, use your mother's car.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of car the dad has, but maybe it's like something nice. Maybe it's like a Rolls Royce or something.
Maybe.
Anyways, he does
Yeah.
not want to let Doogie use the car.
Yeah. Yep. So he's unhappy with what his dad tells him.
So he's unhappy with the dad because he won't let him borrow the car.
Mm-hmm.
And Doogie keeps pushing out to him that, like, what is he like? I am a doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a doctor. I'm not a little kid,
Right.
basically.
And
Yeah.
the dad is saying, you're not emotionally mature, as I can tell because we're having this conversation and you're pouting like a little baby.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's basically what he
Yeah,
says.
if he was an adult, he'd have his own car.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be asking somebody.
Right. So the
At
next
work at the hospital?
He's at the hospital. Doogie goes to the hospital. We see him interacting with a patient who's someone else giving him a hard time about being 16
Giving
and
him grief, giving him guff.
Yes, this patient's giving him a really hard time, but he does his job and he finishes, and the nurse he's working with, starts flirting with him.
Yeah, the nurse he's working with starts flirting with him and leads him to another room, like a dark operating room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then things go on, and she's like, I know you're attracted to me and I'm attracted to you. And at this point I'm thinking, is this like a dream sequence? It keeps going on, and then the nurse takes down his pants, and then they flip the lights on, and it's a two-way mirror, and everybody's watching them, and she's like, haha, it was a joke.
Happy birthday. It was like a surprise birthday thing.
Like a surprise birthday practical joke.
It was so weird.
It was very weird.
It was super weird. It was so weird. And
I want them all fired.
Yeah. And of course he was mad.
Yeah.
So he pulls up his pants and he really quickly leaves the room. And like, it was so super strange. I thought for sure it was a dream sequence.
Yeah, I thought it was a dream sequence.
Yeah. I was like, that can't really be happening.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to have a pedophile on primetime. So I was sure it was a dream sequence. Weird. And then when it wasn't a dream sequence, I'm like,
what the hell happened? It's so strange. Oh, then the next scene, we see him in a lab at the hospital, and the nurse and one of the doctors there he seems to be friends with them. So they're like a couple of his doctor friends, right? They came and apologized to him, and they said, sometimes we forget, you're such a good doctor that sometimes we forget that you're only 16.
Which is a horrible excuse. I don't care if this guy is 53 years old.
Weird.
Just one
in
of the
poor taste.
Worst practical jokes I've ever seen.
Very much in poor taste.
It would have been a better practical joke if they would have hit him over the head with a bottle.
Happy birthday, Smash.
Surprise. Hilarious.
Yeah, really strange. So they apologize. He accepts their apologies. He tricks one of the doctors into, I guess he's in like the coroner.
I don't know. There's
dead bodies in there. And so he tricks one of the doctors into opening the thing to look at the body, the dead body drawer. I don't know what it's called. And Vinnie pops out and scares the doctors.
Yeah. And then Doogie's like, relax, it was just a practical joke.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, that's like his payback.
Yeah, that was his payback.
Payback should have been getting them fired for their non-professional behavior.
Yes. So in the next scene, he goes to visit the sick kid again and kind of has like a little heart-to-heart talk with him and tells him, you don't need to be afraid. And
I was sick when I was a kid. I had leukemia.
Yeah. So apparently he had leukemia when he was a kid. So he kind of has a little camaraderie with the sick kid.
Leukemia when he was a kid, and he's still a doctor by 16. What's your excuse?
Leukemia twice. He had it when he was 4, and he got it again when he was 6, according to his backstory on the show. So, yeah, interesting. I have no excuse. So after that, the next scene is him getting ready for the dance, and there's like this horrible musical montage.
Horrible montage. Yeah, it is really is awful. Yeah.
It's awful. It's awful. So anyway, they go to the dance.
Yes.
They proceed to the dance. So they're at the dance, and Vinnie strikes out.
Yeah,
like we all knew he would.
He throws up on a girl. Apparently that happened the first time, and it happened this time. So what are you gonna do? He's
dancing with Wanda, and he does end up kissing her.
He does kiss Wanda.
They're kissing, they're talking on the dance floor, and then his beeper goes off.
Right, his pager. So he's like, sorry, I gotta go. Right after he got his first kiss.
Yep, right after he got his first kiss, he had to go to the hospital. So he goes to the hospital, and we find out that the little boy died.
Yes.
Not as a result of any procedure that was done. He just died. His heart just gave out.
Died before any procedure had taken place.
Before they could do anything. Yep.
Yes. So he lost his first patient, and he had his first kiss on the same night. It seemed like within hours of each other.
Yeah. The next scene is him laying on his bed. He's really upset. And his dad comes in, and they kind of have a heart-to-heart talk about, losing the first patient, and his dad kind of counsels him a little bit on what it really means to be a doctor, and you have to learn how to deal with that. So he makes amends with his dad. That seems fine. And then we see him go to his computer, and he makes his last journal entry. So he does that every episode. So so it becomes a thing. At the end of every episode, he makes a journal entry. So this is like the very first last the first last journal entry.
Yeah.
So he just writes about how he had his first kiss and lost his first patient, and life would never be the same. And then the episode
ends.
The episode ends. Yeah.
It's pretty tidy episode.
Yeah.
Given that that it explains that he's a young boy doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going through a lot of things in his personal life, and he's going through a lot of things professionally, because you shouldn't have those two worlds at the same time.
Yeah.
Covers a lot of ground, I think.
It really does. And I thought it did a great job of like explaining all of that, because that's a lot. There's like a lot going on, and there was kind of a theme. So there was a recurring theme of people treating him like he was a little kid, or berating him because he's a little kid, or talking about how he's a little kid, or telling him you're only 16. So it was just kind of like this recurring theme throughout the entire episode. And I've just felt like, well, by the end, he's now dealing with death. Mm-hmm. He lost a patient, and so that is not a little kid thing to do.
Yeah, usually little kids don't lose patience.
So just like in huge contrast to what had been going on in the rest of the episode. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting contrast.
As an episode, I don't know what it is, because I don't feel like the acting is very good, but the show itself is engaging and intriguing.
Yeah.
And you kind of just want to watch more of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like, it's not particularly funny. It's a little bit corny.
It is. Remember,
the acting is not particularly good. The dialogue's not great, but for some reason it's compelling. And
it's 1989, so all the cheesiness in those 1989 shows, and it's not a sitcom. It's just,
it is a sitcom.
Does it count as a sitcom? Because there's no laugh. Like there's no laugh track. There's no laugh track, and it's very, it's very like,
it's got a lot of serious parts.
ER, but with a little kid.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Why are you laughing if it's not a sitcom, Bethany?
Because I don't know how to describe it.
They're 22-minute episodes.
They are.
That's sitcom-y.
That is sitcom-y. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a sitcom though.
But it's
You're right,
not,
because there's a lack of laugh track.
There's no laugh track, and it's not like funny enough to be a sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously I watched this first episode because I remembered it. And like I think we were probably like halfway through, and I was like, oh my God, I remember this. So I really would not be surprised if I did watch the first episode and I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch this show. 1989 me, I was 12, maybe?
Yeah.
12 or 13. So yeah, I mean, it was like, I feel like I was the target audience.
I hadn't been born yet.
For this show. Oh my God. Whatever. So yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode, and it really makes you want to see, well, what else? What other business is this doctor little kid going to get into?
Yeah. And Vinnie, I like Vinnie. Vinnie was always my favorite.
Yeah, Vinnie's a good character.
Yeah.
I actually think he's a lot older than Doogie. I think Doogie plays his age, whereas Vinnie, I think, is 20 years old in the first episode. Yeah. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. It's hard to find that information.
Looks so much older than him on the entire show. Every single person.
He's kind of tall, but he's real baby face.
Yes. Everybody. And we were watching the dance scene at the school, and we're like, oh my God, these kids, I mean, they look like they're 40.
Yeah, those kids look old.
They looked old.
Yeah. They were 40-year-old extras.
Pretending to be high schoolers. Yeah. So
okay, Bethany, it's 2023. Do you think people should watch Doogie Howser, MD on Hulu? We watched it on Hulu. It's on Hulu. Yeah, I think it might also be on Disney Plus. Don't quote me on that.
But we definitely watched it on Hulu, and it was fun. I would watch it more.
Yeah, I think I'd get, if I don't have anything to watch, I'd pop into some Doogie Howser episodes.
Yes.
Maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets worse. I think
it gets better. Those episodes that I distinctly remember, I was like, man, those were really good episodes. So I know that they're in there, somewhere in his timeline. I don't know what season they were. They were probably all over the place. But yeah, I definitely will watch it.
And you recommend?
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I also recommend. If you think this show sounds crazy, give it a watch.
Yeah. Yep.
See how realistic it looks, even though it sounds so crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very.
See how serious they take it.
Yeah, pretty high production value.
Yeah. You have anything else to say about
Doogie
1989 Doogie Howser, MD?
1989. No.
I don't either. I think it's a good, strong first episode, and people should check it out.
I agree.
I mean, don't watch it instead of, like, I've never seen Game of Thrones. Maybe I should watch Doogie Howser first. That's not what I'm saying.
Two different things.
Just saying, if you find yourself out there and like, this show sounds crazy,
you got 20, 25 minutes. Like, I kind of want to watch something fun that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
This show's for you.
Yeah.
It's good. And Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, he became famous.
He is all over the place. This is what made him famous. I mean, this is it.
But then let's get out of here. How long can we talk about Doogie Howser, MD? As long as the first episode? Probably longer.
Yes, I could talk about Doogie Howser for ages.
Okay, but final thoughts.
You can take us out. Final thoughts. Check it out. It's really fun on Hulu.
Yeah, it's fun. Go ahead and check it out if you get a chance.
Yep.
I'm going to take us out.
Take us out.
Thanks for watching, Internet. You can follow the show on Twitter at What Else Show. We're also on Instagram at The What Else Show. Please like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. If you ever seen Doogie Howser, MD, or any other, if you know anybody that's named Doug that goes by Doogie, please leave that in the comments.
Let us know.
We need to know that. Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
2003. Do you think people should give Doogie Howser, MD, a watch?
You mean it's 2023?
What did I say?
2003.
Yeah, it's a lot later than 2003. It's 2023.